This is a podcast from the Queen City Podcast Network.
Welcome to Nerd School.
Nerds! Nerds! Nerds!
Yeah.
Suck it, nerd!
Nerds! Nerds! Nerds!
Suck it, nerd!
Nerds! Nerds! Nerds!
Suck it, nerd!
Visit me, daddy ass.
Welcome to Nerd School.
My name is Loki. Welcome to the Nerd School podcast. You Jack.
That's what Gambit's mask is about. Just like, hey, this is my T zone. It just frames his whole face like he's Mr. T. He's trying to be Mr. T. That's the problem.
Bon ami.
That's
what it
that's
is.
the final
So
problem.
then what's
Yeah.
going on with Mr. Terrific? Is he trying to be Mr. T?
No, he can take that T off of his face, and well, he is Mr. T because he's Mr. Terrific. But he can that. Well, his is probably functional because he's all high tech and everything is computerized with that guy. But Gambit's not functional. It's just, hey, you know what would be? I could wear a turtleneck, but what if the turtleneck came up over my whole head?
Well,
And
speaking
then I
of
cut my
turtleneck,
face out of it.
there is a My Hero Academia hero whose name is Jeans, and he has basically he's like a fashion designer kind of dude, but like he's almost like what's the guy from Fat Albert?
Dumb
Dumb
Donald.
Donald.
Yeah, he's almost like that.
I was gonna say Gambit's basically Dumb Donald.
But like the jeans go all the way up, and all you see is just his eyes. And it's like he had like a jean turtleneck thing. It looks pretty freaking cool. Look him up. His name's Jeans.
So he's just a pair of pants with eyes that walks
Oh,
around.
he's not a pair of pants. And speaking of a pair of pants, on
Art's not wearing any.
Total Drama Rama, they had this one episode called Liar Liar Pants on Fire, and there were a pair of pants that were in jail that was actually on fire, and the kids went and freed them. I watch a lot of cartoons. No judgment.
Liar, liar, pants on fire. That's an actual song.
And this concludes this episode of Nerdy
School.
Nerd School.
Randomness. Nerd school randomness.
Nerd School randomness.
Hey, everybody. We're back from Heroes Con. It was a good time.
Yep.
It was the best time.
It was the greatest of times.
Those of y'all who came out to support the Nerd School and our couple of panels, including the
Thank you.
Heroes Debate, thank you so much. And the Supervillain Tournament.
Yes. Welcome new listeners we may have gained from that, our stay there.
Yeah, absolutely.
We gave a lot
hope
of
you
buttons
dig us.
out.
Yeah. I've already forgot who won the tournament. Was it Darth Vader?
It was
Darth
Vader.
Darth Vader.
Yes.
It was Vader. Joe's very happy.
My
about
choice. I dominated 3 nerds.
Like
Did you
none of the three of us,
dominate
if you
every
hadn't
word?
I let you pick your first 16 villains first. And
Yeah.
if you had chose Darth Vader, I'm pretty sure one of the three of us would
No,
have
you wouldn't
said,
have
you know what,
Gargamel.
Darth
that.
Vader should
Oh,
probably be there.
100%, Joe.
Gargamel.
Vader was going to be on at least
I
everyone's
love you.
list.
I love you, Joe. But of course, you know Vader was coming with me. Like
let's not forget Gargamel was a close second. Almost
He was not even a close anything.
No.
Ted
think-
DiBiase won around.
No, I don't think he did.
No.
He did.
Not at all.
I have a
So did
video
you-
of it.
Did this thing
All
you
right,
do,
maybe
Andy,
you
did
did.
it save it?
You
Did it
didn't
save it
save.
or just?
You didn't save the bracket.
Yeah, I could bring up the bracket.
I mean, you don't have to do it now. I was
I
just
could
wondering
report
if
the
you did.
results to our listeners, those who could not be here at Heroes Con.
Yeah.
Oh, you
there
should.
were some surprises.
Joe in
Yes.
the final 4, and then Vader the winner.
I mean, Hella really almost won. It was very
Yeah. And
But
I was
that
kind of
was
surprised
all-
the amount of support she had.
but that was mainly TBJ more than
No, that's a good villain.
It
I
is a good
mean-
villain. It's a great villain, but
I have pizzazz, but
your-
that was
yeah.
also a good villain.
your pizzazz and your influence gave you at least 3 votes.
Listen, you can't be anybody's hero if you don't get them on your side. That's the whole point in me being Batman.
That's
All
All right,
sound like- It sounds like you could also be a Sith, but
No, I
one day. You like
am here for
Bat-
justice.
Batman is basically a Sith. If you
No,
think
he's
about
not.
Yeah,
He's
I'm on
basically
hard
a Sith.
side on this one.
No, he's just a dark Jedi.
it. No, he's a
The whole
Sith.
point of Jedi
Isn't
is to
that-
be light.
Isn't a dark Jedi?
Yes, but there
a Sith?
there are some in the gray, and you know it, Andy. There's some in the
Yeah,
gray.
like Gandalf.
Speaking of, like as we, they're merging canon with legend. Like some of like the whole line between light and dark. I literally just read an article. There's this book. I forgot the name of the book, but the book is talking about how back in the High Republic era, how a lot of the Jedi fell to the dark side because it's not as light and dark as you like Qui-Gon. Qui-Gon, they've never really called him a great Jedi, but Qui-Gon is just watching any of if you watch the show, like he has some anger and fear in him. Like then they were saying how Anakin got pulled to the dark side because he thought what he was doing was for the greater good. He thought.
But can I just point out that all the ones that keep getting pulled and all the ones that keep getting tricked are men. And what is TBG not?
There are some women.
Very few.
Pulled, especially during the High Republic. They're like even let's go Crimson Dawn. Kara, Miss Emilia Clarke. Crimson Dawn, like the dark side is like it's like G.I. Joe, right? You have like Destro, you have Serpentor, you have Cobra Commander.
You've got Mainframe.
You have all of these people.
Joe's like,
you got Chuckles and Psych Out.
But
Game of Thrones.
Okay, all
Game
that
of
is
Thrones. You
well
have everybody wanting the Iron Throne,
but
and they're doing whatever they have
as
to do.
for me,
You got
as for
Crossmaster.
me and my house, we shall not be going dark.
Did you just go biblical almost?
I did. As for me and my house, we will serve the light.
Grunt.
Wow. We may get a little gray.
You sound like a cult.
Where
is the Kool-Aid?
Yeah, Quick Kick.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about me and my homies.
Zanzibar.
Where is the Kool-Aid?
Just know.
Where'd Mando go?
Tele Viper.
He's
You're
here.
just randomly listing
Bat
Cobra
Viper.
people. You're just randomly listing
He
Cobras.
said
Yes, he is.
I'm trying to back Art up by just naming all the G.I. Joes I can.
Don't try to losing battle, Joe.
Oh,
So do you want me to run
never
down
losing
the tournament or just get the champions of each division, or what are you thinking? I mean,
I say you want to do like Elite 8 on?
Yeah, Gargamel.
Or
right.
just pick some
Gargamel was not in your Elite
surprising
8,
wins. And
Yeah,
like how Bowser kept bouncing around.
Bowser went far.
Bowser defeated Tom Hardy's Bane, and I guess he's probably riding high in the Super Mario Brothers movie that just came out, and Jack Black.
Jack Black. Yeah.
Yeah. So he beat Tom Hardy's Bane, then he beat Plankton from SpongeBob, who beat fucking Apocalypse.
That was a heated debate amongst our audience friends.
Yeah. So for those of you who weren't there, what we did is we had an audience participation vote on which villain would defeat what villain, and they could weigh in and sway the vote, and then the audience ultimately got to vote.
Yeah, there's some passionate people.
Yep, nerds are passionate.
Magneto beat Juggernaut, and then beat Negan from The Walking Dead, who had beaten a Dragon Ball Z dude that I don't know.
Who was the Dragon Ball? Like, if you
Majin
don't know
Buu.
it, they might know it.
They knew him. They were talking about it. I just didn't know who that
But
guy
I'm saying,
was.
like right now, you're saying
Goo Guy
you're
Pan.
not saying who it was. You said beat someone that you didn't know. I mean,
Majin Buu. Is that how you say his name?
Majin Buu.
Majin Buu.
Majin Buu.
Majin Buu.
Majin
Want
Buu can
you
beat
to
your
play
Jin
with
Buu
my-
any
He
day.
just childlike villain who's like he's like big and gummy, but like he'll suck you in and turn you into a piece of candy. It's really crazy. But
I
then
gotta
he
start
also
watching that.
then he also has another form where he's like Kid Buu, and then after a while he was like dressed like a big baby. Like what's the name from
That is
Morphe?
weird.
Just like a big baby.
About?
Yeah.
It sucks people into his lungs and turns
Yeah.
into candy.
But it is weird because he's childlike, and he gets
There's
to
a
a point
lot
where
of
he's like
weirdness. in
really
this.
strong and powerful, like was decimating people. And
Here's
he
the thing.
basically had this whole like, okay, I'm done playing thing, and then all of a sudden he changed his form into like Kid Buu, and he became a good guy.
Can I say this? Here's the
Negan
thing.
one.
Here's the thing. Can I say
All
this?
right.
I'm afraid of you saying anything.
Art Star could make up absolutely anything off the top of his head, and we would have no frame of reference that we could believe. So this sounds like it's just.
But just this picture I've seen, kind of like I could see where he might dress like a giant baby.
Okay, he has on a giant diaper. Like when you get a chance, look up Majin Buu. Look up Majin Buu. Maajinbuu. Majin Buu.
Anyway, then the other half of Arch Division,
oh my gosh,
Darth Maul going up against Kylo Ren. And how do you feel about Darth Maul defeating Kylo Ren, Art?
I felt like Kylo won because of who he was. Because like a lot of people, they were really up into the Clone Wars, so they liked Darth Maul, but because it was Adam Driver as Kylo Ren, I think Adam Driver is what pushed them over.
I mean,
Kylo
no, Darth Maul beat Kylo Ren. Darth Maul won that fight.
Oh, right.
So Adam Driver was not enough.
I guess in my head, the way you were just saying it was like Kylo beat Darth. That's why I was defending Kylo.
But Kang beat Darth Maul, and then Kang was up against Bowser in the championship of your division as Kang versus Bowser. And I'm pretty sure, was it Bowser? No, Kang was the winner of your division.
Right, and Kang somehow lost to Thor Odinson's sister. I meant to say, I guess I was thinking
Odin's daughter is what you meant to say.
Yeah,
not somehow, literally goddess of death. Like that's not somehow. That is goddess of death.
Yeah, Hela was the champion of the TBJ division, defeating Ursula beat Thunderbolt Ross, but Dr. Octopus beat Ursula. Dolores Umbridge, or Professor Umbridge, defeated Mojo Jojo after the Green Goblin defeated Dr. Doofenshmirtz from Phineas and Ferb, or Peaches and Herb, whichever the one. Let's see. But Green Goblin beat.
Have anybody seen the Star Wars episode of Phineas and Herb?
No, I haven't seen any episodes.
Herb.
I haven't seen any episodes of Peaches and Herb.
Herb.
Phineas and Herb's pretty funny.
He said Peaches and Herb. You said Phineas and Herb.
No, because of the darn and though.
So let's see.
I was gonna say Herb, but then like it came out. I like Herb. No, it's God damn it.
Lex Luthor beat Voldemort in the Battle of the Bald Dudes, but Thanos managed to beat Killmonger. And Hela beat Green Goblin in the final round to beat emerge the TBJ champion. My champion was Loki, I believe, right?
Yeah, because Tom Hiddleston's attractive.
Yes.
Doesn't matter. It's audience choice. And apparently it's a good looking man.
Loki versus Soren. I was surprised Dr. Doom lost as early as he did. Like, all right, who beat Dr. Doom?
Maybe
Sauron from Lord of the Rings.
If you would have used Dr. Doom from the garbage Transformers, garbage Fantastic Four movie, they would have probably been like, oh yeah, he's a handsome dude too. I don't know.
And then Joe's division featured Pizza the Hut versus Cersei Lannister. And
Pizza Hut won, right?
No, Cersei Lannister won because somebody in the audience was like, I don't want to see that picture of Pizza the Hut ever again. So
we did warn the audience that Joe's division was going to be the most special division.
Yep.
And that audience fell in love with me and my Gargamel choice.
Cobra Commander defeated Boss Hogg, but could not defeat Skeletor. The Skeletor Megatron matchup result is basically Skeletor versus Darth Vader, who beat the Joker and the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man and the Hamburglar. Stay Puft Marshmallow Man had beat Francis.
There were some people that were passionate about Hamburglar.
Yeah, there was a lot of Hamburglar discussion in that first round.
Yes, and I caused that to happen. I caused nerds to talk about Hamburglar.
There was also almost a crazy first round upset because like that first vote between Hamburglar and Darth Vader was somehow very, very close.
I think I'm going to be Hamburglar cosplay at the next Heroes Con.
Go for it. I will pay you for it.
You will?
Yeah, I'll pay you.
$800?
No, I didn't say how much. I just said I'll pay you.
900? 1,000?
Nope.
10 zillion?
Don't know what currency I'll pay you in, but I'll pay you.
So fun was had by all.
Yeah.
And if you look at the Heroes Con fan page on Facebook, lots of people are uploading pictures. I'm looking through these pictures to see if I can find one of us in the background.
The guy who took the picture for us is Mug Photography. So I've been waiting on his Facebook to see if when he uploads his.
What guy took a picture? Oh, the
professional guy.
Yeah. Gotcha.
I got his information because he took some good shots, and I'm sure he has to post them to the con first before he posts them on his public page. But I will be on the lookout, and we will share them as they come up.
Woohoo! Yes, for good times were had.
No,
I don't know if you guys exchange any information with anybody that seemed interested in being a guest. Let me know, because I'm starting to line up people that I talked to a lot of people. There's a guy from a comic shop in I can't remember, was it Raleigh or something? And it's called Two Jerks Comic Shop. I was like, "Are you one of the jerks?" He was like, "Yeah, where's the other jerk?"
Going down a rabbit hole. Is that the real name?
Yeah, I told him about History for Jerks, and I said, "I got to have you on one of our podcasts." Like, yeah, absolutely. So I got his info.
Jerks. Two Jerks comic store.
Like Two Jerks in a comic shop or something like that.
Two jerks. I wonder if it's one of those deals where they go in and they treat you bad on purpose, and that's part of the act.
I don't think so. He wasn't mean to me or anything, but it is Jerks with a Z.
I
don't know if that means anything.
This is not with an XZ, and that'd be a problem.
That'd be a problem. But that guy said he'd be on our podcast. I talked to a guy who writes Snuffy Smith. I don't think anybody else talked to him the whole con, so maybe he'll be on our podcast. Because
I love how you said Snuffy Smith, like with authority during the panel. Like Snuffy Smith, like they was going to get it. Like
not one person in that room knew who Snuffy Smith was. Not one. Not a one.
Well, newspapers are a dead medium, and that's a newspaper comic.
Well, I fell down a rabbit hole.
Did you find out how Elvini is supposed to be pronounced?
I didn't think to ask him.
How did you not think that? That's the burning question for all Snuffy Smith enthusiasts: is how the hell do you say Elvini?
I should ask him. Well, I'll get in touch with him. I'll say, "Hey, I'm the guy who spoke to you at the Heroes Con." He'll be like, "Oh, that guy." He knows there's one guy to talk to him. Probably. I don't know. There was fun. The cosplay was great. There was the Apocalypse was there. There was a great Doc Ock with the light up arms.
There was like a whole Sinister Six crew, which I liked.
Sinister Six crew. I saw.
Speaking of which,
saw Electro in there.
Just today, out of nowhere, they dropped a Kraven the Hunter trailer. There's a whole Kraven
awesome.
Is getting his own movie.
Is it in the MCU?
It's in the Sony Venom verse, I guess, probably. I think because Sony has the rights to do solo movies of Spider-Man.
And I'm
characters.
hoping it's at least 25% better than Morbius.
Yeah,
Morbius was another one Sony did, right?
Yeah, everyone hated it, but liked mocking it so much that they thought it was actually they liked it, and they re-released it, saying, "Oh, now we'll get some audience," and still nobody went. Because
people like it as like a bad movie, like a cult bad movie, right?
I don't even know that.
Like it's shitty, so they watch it because it's shitty. Like, oh, it's so bad. Let's make fun of it.
This, if this does end up getting into the MCU, it's going to be one of those things where you're saying like, but hey, wait, he already played Quicksilver in the MCU. How is this possible?
Yeah, the guy playing Kraven is Aaron Taylor Johnson, who played the Quicksilver in Age of Ultron. So this is like a separatist universe. And Russell Crowe is like the elder Kraven.
Come on, they can't find another guy. There's so many actors that want to get a role. You got to use somebody who's already an MCU person. Come on, let somebody.
Well, this is like the Sony Venomverse is technically another dimension.
Yeah, I get it.
So anybody can be anywhere.
I get it.
And then just Venom guest star got
so
zapped into the MCU just long
find
enough to
one other actor. Like there's no other actors. That guy had to be.
It's all about who read well for the part. Apparently, he did good.
Did Rhino?
Did Art get a chance to read? No.
Art needs a better agent then. So
True.
Joe's
Art-
gonna be my agent.
get
I'm
your
gonna be
boo a
Art's
better
agent.
agent.
I'm doing
You better
all
get him some
voiceover
deals.
work.
You should do
My-
There you
voiceover
go.
work.
My agent Joe Hunsaker.
You've got
He's
a
getting-
way with words, Art
he's-
Star. You
he's-
should be
he's
a poet
getting-
at least.
He's getting 17%.
Sorry, I'm going off on a tangent in my brain about if this everyone in the Sinister Six gets their own movie. What if the entire Venom verse just becomes a Spider-Man villain verse, and like there is a Spider-Man in that dimension, but they keep beating him, and like they sort of rule that. And then
Has
Doc Ock-
Spider-Man been in any of those?
Uh,
Venom and Craven, and
uh,
if so, who plays him?
it's not in that world, but like at the end of I think Venom 2 Electric Boogaloo, he got zapped over into the MCU and saw Tom Holland Spider-Man and got obsessed with him. But then at the end of the Spider-Man movie or something, he got zapped back to his universe, but
Right.
left a drop of Venom. So there's a bit of symbiote in the MCU now that we haven't seen any
Ah.
follow-up
And if
of.
you really want to think kind of complicated, you can be like, well, the fact that it's here and we know that there are multiple universes that cross over and converge and incursions and all of this thing, it'll be his, like Andy probably was about to say, be his own separate Venom, who's not Tom Hardy. Maybe
Yeah.
they'll bring back what's his face, Topher.
Yeah, that could be, or it'll possess. They'll redo the Venom story from Spider-Man 3, except without disco dancing, and then have Tom Holland go through that somehow, and then it'll find its way to somebody else, like Flash Thompson, probably, who is in the MCU. It's a very different Flash Thompson from comics. But anyway, Avengers: Infinity War.
Yes. That's enough about Heroes Con. It was a great time. Always come see it. Come next year to Charlotte, North Carolina. Check us out. Those of you who met us there and are now listening, thank you for listening. Welcome aboard the Nerd School train. We are once you catch up to episode 79.
We're in the
Something.
80s.
Oh,
We're in the
89.
I was
88.
saying you're in charge of it, Joe.
I know. And I was just checking. the
I want to say
Hold
89.
on,
this
let me
week.
look.
I think 88 or 89.
This is 88.
Yeah, 88. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, I was just checking. 88. We're getting close to 100 episodes.
Woo!
Yeah, that's a big deal. We're gonna have to
We're gonna have
do it at
celebrate.
a live show for the 100th at a pub. Oh, Weezy didn't like that. She growled.
I
But
don't blame her. I don't drink beer either, Weezy.
So we
Get a
just
pint.
stepped into Infinity War, just dipped our toe in it last episode. And we were just talking about how Hulk quickly got defeated by Thanos, and Art Star used the analogy of like a prize fighter. You can't just fight, and go in rage. You have to Thanos was like calculating and knowing when to move.
He let Hulk wear himself out a little bit, and then he
give him a rope-a-dope a little
and he
bit.
methodically just picked him apart,
Can't beat the shit out of him.
bruised his ego bad.
And so that's just at the very beginning of the movie, and then we have to watch him kill Heimdall, which is a horrible
I
moment.
know. Heartbreak.
Yeah.
Stringer Bell died.
Yeah, we don't like that. Heimdall is one of our favorites. So
No, I was legit sad. I remember sitting down to watch this, and I had to take a break. Take a break after that scene because I love him very much.
Yes.
well, I had thought he was already dead. Like the very beginning, you see him like laying there, and you think he dies, but then he's awake again, and
No, he's got to do one more good thing.
yeah, because he gets that Rainbow Bridge out a little bit.
Yeah,
To throw the Hulk back to Earth and get him out of here.
yeah.
To let Earth know that Thanos is coming.
He's a good man, Savannah.
And then I have a problem with this next thing. He kills Loki. Why doesn't Loki just teleport out of there? when
Because
about to kill him?
he's it's desperate last gambit.
Yeah.
He is gonna try to save his brother's life, and
Before he crushes your head, teleport out. Teleport behind him.
well, it's a little hard to concentrate on magic when you're getting strangled.
How do
I
you
was
know?
about to say, I don't know if your brain's firing on all cylinders as you were.
Every other time he can just teleport. It's like when Skeletor, he can teleport. Every episode he gets defeated, it's like, and then you find out later he can just teleport.
Like you can get away, but you have to not get away because if
You have
do,
that, and I don't think he
fucks
would have
things
left
up.
behind. I think you have to add that layer as much as those two have gone through as siblings. And I think Andy pointed out last time, this is the first time that Loki referenced himself as Odin's son. I think that it's more than just that he can't teleport. He's not going to leave his brother behind, period.
Yeah, like after Ragnarok, they kind of had a reckoning where like Loki did his usual betrayal shit. And Thor's like, you got to grow, man. You're so predictable. If Thor outpopped him, he'd realize, like, okay. And then he came back and as the Lord and Savior. He's still a drama queen, but I mean, you could always write a lot of different things they could do. Why didn't they do this? Why didn't they use this power? Why didn't they use this spell? Or why didn't he like book it across the universe with the Tesseract and just get the hell away from Thanos as fast as possible?
Yeah. Why didn't they?
Because
it's more than the fight. You still have a storyline to live through.
Yeah, and if Loki does that, all of Asgard, the rest of Asgardians become extinct except for him. And at one point, he probably would have been fine with that, but not anymore.
They could have just teleported behind him, smacked him around, and continued the fight, or teleported over by Thor and undid his chains, and then teleport again, and then.
Yeah, but I think
it wasn't chains; it was like girders wrapped around him with metaphysical force.
But
and I think we're also being set up that Thanos is not someone you can just beat.
Yeah,
like the next few
big bag, Joe.
But you could have teleported behind Ebony Maw and gave him a wedgie, and then teleported in front of him again and laughed at him.
No, because then we go through the next few scenes just talking about how unbeatable he is. So you can't start off with him getting defeated.
Ebony Maw, the way he got defeated is pretty ridiculous.
It means the Maw is dead.
I don't buy that he would have gotten defeated either.
He got thrown out into space, sucked out into space.
But he's got telekinesis. Why wouldn't he just telekinesis himself away from the hole? Like his powers are so unbelievable, but a hole in the wall is going to defeat him. Come on,
a hole in the wall into outer space.
Yeah, right, Joe. No one can survive space.
He can move everything in the universe, but he can't.
Can we just say
he can't breathe? He can't breathe.
He doesn't have a nose anyway. He doesn't need to breathe.
Can we just say that Joe is leaning into that part of nerd culture that nitpicks?
Yep. There you go.
Be careful, Joe.
You've taken an essential step into being a buzzkill.
Yep.
Well,
thanks, Joe.
I'm just saying they could have come up with just a little bit better.
No, they can't, because then we don't have the rest of the storyline. You have to take that into consideration.
Yeah, but you could add a little easy thing like, oh, Loki doesn't have his whatever. Somebody flipped his
but for most
aneurysm,
people,
so now we can't do it, whatever, you know. Like,
for most people, if you're watching this scene and it's not just about the fight, because remember, we're watching, these are cinematic movies, not fight movies. So there's going to be more in his character development and what's going on. So he's not going to be a warrior in that scene. He's not a warrior in that scene. He's just Loki, Thor's brother, trying to beat the guy, but getting caught up in the moment and unfortunately not surviving.
Or maybe at least just add something like, oh, Thanos
that's more realistic.
Has a thing in his helmet that's blocking his ability
He's got
to teleport.
The power gem, the Infinity Stone.
Yeah,
and maybe that's suppressing his thing, but say that or put that in there.
We don't need that.
Due to the suppression of his powerful helmet, I can't teleport.
No,
now I buy it. Now I buy it. You got me. That's all you had to do.
They don't want to explain everything.
Lazy writing. Lazy writing.
That's not lazy.
Slap in the face. It's a slap in the face.
Joe, it would be lazy if they did what you said do. If they explained everything
slap in the face to
make it easier for you, we'd have a problem. We would not be watching these movies in any good faith. We'd be watching stupid Barbarella again.
It's a slap in the face to fans.
No, just you.
Yeah, anytime anyone uses
said
that phrase.
Yeah. You said that in the WandaVision episode.
Oh, did I?
That's a sign of when a nerd is
taking shit too seriously and way too unclenched. Like, oh, that's a slap in the face. That's just an insult to us as fans.
You said that in the WandaVision.
Fun time. Funny story. On last week when I went to buy my X-Men shirt, because I had that cute skirt and I was like, oh, I need a black and white shirt. The cashier at Target gave me a long discussion about the slap in the face that the writers did in the last Wolverine movie. I can't remember their rationale, but I was like, I just want to buy my shirt. And,
what, the Logan movie? Or
but I can't remember because he was like, I don't remember what his argument was, but also I am just at Target buying a shirt.
And you're like, can I please just get my
To
receipt?
complete
Yo?
a really
Can I
pretty
get my-
outfit.
Yeah.
I don't want to debate you on writers of
boils
movies
my
versus
goose.
comics
It's
because
like,
he
I'm trying to
related.
leave.
He was like, it was a slap in the face to comic book fans, and I was like, cool. Here's my card.
If
The
you listen
fact that
back
that
to
movie
our,
was
our
made at
last
all.
WandaVision episode, if you listen back to that, you can hear Andy's comment about people saying things that are slapped in the face. Very funny.
The fact that that Logan, like an old Logan movie, exists at all is a
Yeah.
gift to comic fans, not a slap in their face.
Yeah.
Slap. That's just people.
It
Like,
was-
I didn't
it
like
was
it,
fun.
therefore it was an insult to me.
Right? Listen,
everything is
then
for
the
you.
whole
Not
there's a
everything's for
whole
you,
lot that's
yeah.
a slap in the face from Tiffany.
Well, that's
Just
the,
imagine
so,
if Joe got old Hawkeye. If you ever make old Hawkeye, how Joe would feel?
fuck
Yeah,
Hawkeye.
Joe.
Hawkeye is
Uh,
old.
The
Right,
only
no, but the thing-
Hawkeye, as far as I'm
there's an old
concerned, is the
Hawkeye-
female Hawkeye.
There's an
is the
old
only one.
Hawkeye storyline, and I'm just saying, I know how much Joe loves Hawkeye.
My heroes are female.
So Joe's a fan of Kate Bishop.
I love Kate
Yeah,
Bishop.
pretty much.
I like her, but
Yeah.
Clint,
But anyway,
or-
tangent.
yeah, okay.
Loki
Okay,
could
we're
have
at
done
the
a lot of
beginning.
stuff.
Loki
They could
has
have.
died.
Thanos
Go
then
ahead.
sets everything on purple fire, and then teleports his minions and himself away.
Not his minions, his children.
Oh, they're his Thanos.
They are
children of
now. He
Thanos.
keeps calling them. There was that whole
Yeah.
speech. You are now children of Thanos.
Yeah, that big long, yeah. And they're presumably going back to Titan, I guess, at that point. The ship explodes, obviously killing Hulk and Thor, and they're obviously dead forever and will never come back in any other movies.
No, Hulk got thrown to Earth by Heimdall.
And Thor is.
Well, that's right, but
dead.
we couldn't tell yet because you see Heimdall had set up his rainbow right before he died, and you see the bridge is up to Earth, and then you see someone riding it, but you can't really tell who it
Midgard.
is.
No, you see it like, if I remember right, the first thing that happens is the rainbow bridge, like the rainbow sweeps Bruce Banner. Like, the
Yeah,
Hulk away.
you see it sweep Bruce away.
Well, when I was watching, I watched like 3 times. You couldn't tell who it was. You just saw a figure.
Oh,
and then you
I could
see
tell, Joe.
then
you
he
were having a
crashes
moment.
through Doctor Strange's house, and then you see it's Bruce Banner, like just laying there.
Yeah.
So I couldn't tell. And on Earth, Doctor Strange and Wong are talking about Wong's lack of money.
And if I remember right, in the Infinity Gauntlet comics, and Joe, you've been reading them recently, isn't that scene where the
I'm
Hulk?
not reading those. I'm reading Secret Wars.
Oh, okay, I thought you were starting to read those. I haven't
tried
read them in
to
a while,
find,
but
like,
I think
a trade of Infinity Gauntlet.
I have one in my attic, but it's hard to find. But it's
I found the Infinity Gauntlet book, but I can only borrow so many at a time from the
okay.
online.
But that scene when the Hulk is smashed through Doctor Strange's house, I was like, Thanos is coming. I'm pretty sure that's directly from the comics, except it's not the Hulk, it's the Silver Surfer who it gets thrown there or something. I think that's right, and nerds can correct me if that was a slap in the face if I got that wrong. But
He's a superhero, Paul Revere.
Yes.
I like this little argument between Wong and Strange when they're talking about his lack of money, and the guys at the deli might make you a metaphysical ham on rye.
I do like that. I think about that line way more than I should, and I don't know why.
And then because Wong says,
you want a metaphysical ham on rye?
Yeah.
No, I don't like ham or rye.
I bet
Just
if you
imagine
Google it right
if
now,
we could eat metaphysical food,
I'll
how
bet
healthy
you-
all of us would be.
I bet you there's a band called Metaphysical Ham on Rye.
If
Or you
not,
could make
start
one.
it now.
But yeah, that's a fun little thing of like, oh, we're big high-minded magicians, but also we need to eat food and take dumps.
Yeah.
And stuff.
We need monies.
Yes. And he had about a $1.85 or something. And then suddenly Hulk shows up, and then they cut to Tony Stark talking about urinating in his dreams.
Well, before we say that after the Metaphysical Ham on Rye, Wong says, I wouldn't say no to a tuna melt. That's great. I love any like normalization of these crazy magic guys. It's hilarious to me. Like those guys talk about the deli is funny. And then Hulk
Yes.
crashing the stairs, and then Infinity War, and the movie starts. Like we're not even at the opening credits.
I also liked a bit later when Doctor Strange, like somehow Cumberbatch is able to completely naturally say hitherto undreamt of.
Yeah. And he says that. Did you?
And he says that like it's nothing. And I was like, all right. I didn't even realize he said something like that, except Tony Stark had to point out, did you just say
Did
hitherto
you just
undreamt
say?
of?
Yep.
Yeah, hitherto.
Because he reads a lot of magic books. He's probably his head is swimming in phrases like that.
Yeah. But you're right. Before we even get there, you get Pepper and Tony in the park.
Yeah, they're in the park talking about his dream
and future children.
Yeah.
Having a kid named Morgan, named after Pepper's eccentric uncle.
Yeah. And so I did Google this, and so apparently it's Tony's uncle who is Morgan Stark in the comics.
Well, in the comics, she also marries Happy, so
Pepper does?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, weird.
Not weird. I like that better.
So that's what I was asking. Is this supposed to be foreshadowing of Morgan the baby?
Morgan is a cousin of Tony Stark in the comics, nephew, and then, but I believe, or
is this supposed to be a dream connected to a different reality? Do we think, like another?
Well, after once we get further along, when they do have said kid and Endgame, you're jumping.
But then they don't have it, right? They do it in Endgame, but then they don't because they go back in time and erase that part, right?
Let's not go to Endgame yet.
Okay, that's too far ahead.
That's what I was saying. You're jumping.
So I would only know this is foreshadowing because I did go ahead, and normally I wouldn't be that far ahead. So I'm not that far ahead. And then a portal appears with Doctor Strange and Bruce, and Wong. Then they take him back with them, and then Wong starts explaining the Infinity Stones to Tony. And this is where he said, "Did you seriously just say hitherto undreamt of? Are you seriously leaning on the cauldron of the cosmos?" Is what he responds. Yeah.
Yes,
I love those two not liking each other and going.
Yes, because they're both egomaniacs writ large.
Yes, but remember, Tony goes through the same thing as soon as he meets Captain America. Same thing. The only person he vibes with, like right off the bat, is Bruce.
Yeah, because they're like science nerds, right?
Like, go back to all the movies. Any other dude in power, Tony butts heads with initially.
Yeah.
Well, that's Peter Parker, who he's kind of
mentor. He's like,
right?
He doesn't really have power.
Yeah,
but it's like a pissing match that like
it is. That's exactly
dudes do. Yeah, dudes always have to. Whose dick's bigger? It's always that.
Yeah. The whole thing, he butted heads with Thor initially too. That's Tony Stark.
Well, and we see some of that in this episode between Thor and Quill, which is kind of funny. That whole jealousy of Thor thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Stop stroking his muscles. I have muscles. No, you're
I just want to point out, I think this is the first time all the Chris's from MCU are in one movie.
Ooh, Chris Evans, Chris Pine, Chris
Pine is not in this.
Peterson.
Chris Pratt.
Not Pine.
Chris Hemsworth.
Chris
Evans, Pratt.
Christopherson.
At some point, Chris Pine's going to make his way into this, and I don't know.
Christie.
And make his way into the MCU somehow, just so he can be another Chris.
He will.
Chris Pine could be. I think he would be a good Johnny Storm.
He's a little older at this point for that.
Now he is, because he's given out.
At one point, yes.
We don't know how old the Fantastic Four are going to be.
That's true.
They might be old people.
We could always start older and then flashback, or stay older. Who knows?
And MCU has proven that they don't bow down to what somebody shouldn't or should be, right?
Yeah, but then you gotta want to do that, right? You gotta take a look at Pine's last roles, and they're not physically, they don't have big physical requirements of him. They're good. Listen, when he did that movie where they were doing mind experiments on women.
Did you watch Dungeons and Dragons?
No, I didn't watch Dungeons and Dragons. Is he doing a lot of physical work in D&D?
Oh yeah, he's the bard in Dungeons and Dragons, which is awesome.
I have not.
It's very.
But the one thriller he just did. What is the name of that damn movie?
That Chris Pine was in.
Yeah, he's the evil mastermind with Harry Styles. No. Harry Styles.
Harry Styles, the singer. Wet Hot American Summer 10 years later?
No. It's directed by the Olivia, who's married to Jason Sudeikis, whatever. They got divorced because she was
Olivia Wilde.
Her lead,
Smoking.
I didn't watch it. I heard that wasn't that good. Is that good?
But he plays a creepy enough dude in that shit.
The Princess Diaries 2, Royal Engagement.
No.
Surrender.
No.
Anyways, Chris's.
All the Chris's. I just wanted to point out that here we are with the MCU Chris's all in one.
Yeah, although I don't think Chris Evans and Chris Pratt ever cross paths.
No, they don't necessarily need to.
But they're in the movie. That's all that matters.
Yeah, they are.
They are all billed in one movie together.
I do love the bit where it's like, well, he's just a dude. No, you're a dude. This is a man.
This is a man. Yeah.
The weird part about it is that it was Drax saying it.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
it was kind of
With
strange.
authority. It's like, no, you're a dude. This is a man.
Yeah.
I like that difference.
Well, they try to explain to Tony why they can't just destroy the time stone because they swore an oath. Tony compares it to when he swore off dairy until Ben and Jerry's named a flavor after him. And then we get more of Wong talking about and Strange talking about flavors of ice cream. Stark raving.
Yeah, there's
hazelnuts,
one that's got Hulk in it, and then Hulk is like, "Wait, that exists?"
a hunk of Hulk of burning fudge. I had
Yep.
to play it 3 times to get that down.
Hulk of burning
Dark
fudge,
raving hazelnuts and a hunk of and Strange thought it was chalky. It was a bit chalky.
Yeah, and he probably didn't even, but he had to insult Tony Stark's flavor.
Yes,
his ice cream.
that's exactly it.
I want someone to, if they haven't already, I'm sure it's somewhere on the interwebs, just go through all the entire MCU and just cut these moments of ridiculousness and put them together.
The small banter. You want the banter moment.
Yeah, just the banter about mundane things like this. I love it. Like the metaphysical sandwich.
That's your next podcast idea.
Yeah. Oh man, I want it.
I've actually looked and found something like this. I think I talked about it before, but at some point when I can't move anymore, what I'll want to do is sit down and watch the entire MCU scene by scene in chronological order. And some nerd I found it on Twitter somewhere. Some guy went through and just put every scene, like flashbacks and stuff like that, in chronological order in the way you need to watch them. And it would, it'd take days to watch that probably, but it's I just would like to see
it's like
how
that whole
works. Here's all of Eternals, and then after that there's like 2 minutes of Captain Marvel, and then you have to go to
that's a lot of time on someone's hands.
Yeah. And people have that kind of time.
I don't know.
It's like how they have the app now that tells you when you're watching a movie when's the perfect time to go take a pee break.
There is?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
I did not also. Thank you for enlightening us, Art. You are better than all of us.
No.
Oh,
Dang it. I was trying to get
what
TBJ
can
to
I
agree to
say?
TBJ says no.
TBJ said no. TBJ also says Excelsior.
She does not.
But I do really like this next bit where suddenly everything, like everybody feels the wind change.
Yeah,
like,
all of a sudden rumbling, and what the hell's that? And they rush out there. This sequence is awesome. Like as far as like,
well, you also with this before or after? No, because like you kind of glossed over the fact that Bruce was telling Tony to call Cap.
Yeah,
because he hasn't been there and he didn't know what happened.
I can't just call. I can't just call Cap. I can't. Yeah. I guess I did gloss over that.
Yeah, we broke up like the Beatles.
Yeah. So we broke up. I can't really.
Thanos doesn't care who you're talking to, and like he's debating the phone, and then suddenly that's when the wind changes, and they're like, "What the hell's going on?"
Yeah.
And that's like a great tone shift. Like suddenly, all right, Thanos is coming. Here's the deal. This is going to be the tone of kind of the rest of the movie. Oh shit, we can have all the funny banter we want, but murder is coming.
Yeah, you're right. Just instantly goes this crazy rumbling. They rush outside. It's just chaos. People screaming. Everything. You find a giant circular spaceship has landed. Everyone's panicked. Then Spider-Man's spider sense goes off in the form of arm hair on the bus. And Peter asks Ned to cause a distraction as he jumps out the emergency exit. And Stan Lee is the bus driver.
Yep.
Yeah.
There you go.
And then we get big monster guy, who I forget his name is, and Ebony Maw beam down.
The monster guy was known as either Black Dwarf or...
It was the big one. No, it was the big...
Yeah, that's Black Dwarf.
Oh, it is?
Which is a kind of star, I think, like a Black Dwarf or Cull Obsidian.
Oh, that's
Although
other name.
Originally, when it was invented by when the Black Order characters were created, they were called the Black Order, or the Cull, like Thanos called them the Cull Obsidian because he's a little pretentious. Okay. But everyone else called them the Black Order. But then at some point, they kind of just changed Black Dwarf's name to Cull Obsidian.
He is Black Dwarf.
Yes.
This next thing's my favorite part is when he says, "Get lost, Squidward."
Yes. Earth is closed today. Just cuts him off, and even though Ebony Maw rambles all the time irritatingly, he finds it very irritating when anyone else rambles. I like that.
Right?
Yeah. Again, that's asshole dudes pissing matches and want to ramble, and nobody else can ramble.
Mhm.
Then
there's the
Sums
classic.
up men in a nutshell.
I know. I'm like, I just served that up to TBJ right there. Yeah.
There's
And then
the-
Hulk. Banner can't figure out how to turn into Hulk. Hulk won't come out.
Yeah, and I think that's I mean there was initially like a whole storyline where the Hulk was there. Like there were some trailer bits when this was coming out where like the Hulk is running around Wakanda as well. But I think they changed the storyline a bit. And I think the reason for that is Hulk has never got his ass beat like that before.
Oh,
And
so
now
after his beating,
Hulk is like, I mean, it could just be the Hulk is scared because part of that Hulk is like a very like a childlike rage of all the like the
And like I said
trauma.
earlier, he had his ego bruised because he's the strongest there is. To get beat like that, would make you want to tuck your tail and be like, I'm not coming out.
But that could tell also future Hulk stories where it's like we haven't really heard him say Hulk is the strongest one there is, which is one of his catchphrases
Right.
when he's running around. Like because usually the thing with the Hulk is he can always get stronger because it's tied to how mad he is. So the madder he gets, the stronger he gets. So if you keep hitting him, he's going to get more pissed off, and eventually he's going to grow enough strength to kick your ass. And we haven't really seen that yet. We kind of saw that a little bit in the Hulkbuster Hulk fight during the Age of Ultron, but so I think this is like a humbling moment for him that did some psychological damage, which is why the Hulk won't come out anymore.
Well, then the battle ensues, and I think is this the first time we see the nanotech Iron Man?
I think so. Technically, yes. It's all nanotech, and then he can do all this crazy shit.
And then later we see the nanotech Spider-Man.
And the classic, you're embarrassing me in front of the wizard.
Yeah.
Yes, I love how they always call him a wizard. The other ones.
He is from space, and he's trying to steal a necklace from a wizard.
Yeah, that's exactly. I just said that. That was my next line. I was going to say he's from space. He came here to steal a necklace from a wizard. Oh, okay.
And that's all Spider-Man needs to get up to speed.
Yeah. Wong transports the big Uggo into Hoth and then chops his arm off as he closes the portal. And this is how officially MCU is now connected to the Star Wars universe because he's on Hoth.
Not quite.
Wong, you're invited to my wedding.
Much along the lines of you nitpicking with Loki, there are nerds that nitpick like, wait, Wong cut off Black Dwarf's arm just by using a portal. Why couldn't he cut the gauntlet off of Thanos? But it's also because Thanos has fucking Infinity Stones.
Yep.
He's got
Thanos and that guy are very different
ways around it.
Powers, powerful on the scale of powerfulness. Yeah. I'm okay with that.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah, yeah.
But Wong, you're invited to my wedding is a funny little thing. He says he loves Wong for doing that. Meanwhile, Spidey and Strange are getting sucked up into the spaceship. Iron Man saves the day by using nanotech to turn Spidey's suit into a spacesuit and trying to parachute him home. Oh, come on. But we see him about to pass out because he's going up into space and he's just a kid. But he latches on and gets back on without Stark knowing at that point.
Yes. Which is on brand for Peter.
Yeah. Do we like this nanotech Spider-Man? This cool like metal Spider-Man?
It's kind of a callback to like there was a period of time when Peter Parker was sort of I think the Civil War era where he kind of became public, and I think he had a job with Stark Industries, and Tony built like this cool suit with like the roboto legs and stuff.
But like even on his newish animated series, he does a lot of stuff with like Alchemax and Roxxon and things like that, where he's experiment with other types of suits that's not just the Underoos type.
Yeah, there's a like one of the. On one side, the charm of Spider-Man a lot is that he has to do it all himself because it's a secret identity. He's broke. He doesn't have all these resources. So it's very scrappy, which is what like his original Homecoming outfit was, that sweatshirt and like the little goggles he was wearing.
Yeah.
But also it makes sense that he's really smart, and there are a million different kinds of spider suits that he's worn. I mean, there's like the one everyone knows. There's the black one that eventually turned out to be a Venom symbiote.
If you're lucky enough to get a PlayStation and play any of the Spider-Man games, like it's one of those things where like for instance, like we play Snap, and when we play Snap, we get like a fucking avatar or pixel variant of some damn card. It does, to quote Brant P. Fundak, shit all right? Maybe I'm indirectly quoting him. I feel like I heard him say shit all or fuck all.
Fuck
whatever.
all, I think it's his thing.
But yeah, so whenever he gets a new suit in the game, it actually does new things. So like you can collect different suits, like, and I think they also tied into like the movies where he gets like the. It's not like that bullshit game that Andy got, which I'll probably eventually get, where you get like suits and they really they're like Fortnite-ish. They're just like, are they just cosmetics? And
which game are you talking about?
Avengers.
Oh, that game. Yeah, they're just cosmetics.
Yeah, so but like so in Spider-Man, whenever he gets the new suit, you're actually getting, you know, a la in the movies, he's getting some new feature he can do. Like if he has the Iron Spider suit, you know, legs and shit are coming out of it.
Oh yeah,
it's not like
he is. But the cool, funny thing for me is like he has no idea what it's gonna do. Even it's kind of like when Iron Man kind of gets in some of his suits. Like much.
Even when Tony first gives him a suit in his movie, when he's sitting there playing with it,
when he unlocks it when he wasn't supposed to on a training wheels mode or whatever, and he's what can it do? Like what do you That's funny. I love it.
Yeah. Spider-Man's good.
But they don't do that in the comics, right? Like Stark has nothing to do with Spider-Man's suits in the comics, does he?
Sometimes, like certain suits, but Peter makes his own stuff usually. But Tony's made some suits for him.
Now he's having suits made for him by Harry Osborn. Ooh.
Oh. Is he back to the dead again?
Harriet Osborn has something to do with one of the goblins.
Yeah, he's that Norman Osborn is the Green Goblin. Harry Osborn is
not Harry. Norman. Norman is the one who's doing the suits for him.
Why?
Who's helping him? Well, it's you know they.
I'm not up on my Spider-Man comics.
You need to get up, Andy. You need to start reading.
I'm not like I'm literally on issue 8 of this new run, and they just had 27, and I think 26. Somebody big dies. Like it was someone big. Like on the cover, it had like MJ, some other people that's big in his life. Someone dies, but Superior Spider-Man's coming back.
I approve of that.
Spider-Man is no longer like Mary J. is married with kids, and it's not
official.
Spidey.
It's official.
Spidey is
you guys have made me a nerd.
Black Cat.
I'm jonesing to read comic books.
Here's the thing.
I just opened where I was at Secret Wars because I can't wait to read comic books now. You guys have made me a nerd.
Book,
you have to read them all in order.
Yeah, the Spider-Man book kind of makes you want to go back and read Spider-Man Beyond just to see. Because, you know, Spider-Man, and I think, Andy, you might have mentioned at some point about Ben Reilly coming back. Did you say something about Ben Reilly?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, the Beyond Corporation.
Oh, right.
Basically, the rights to Spider-Man. So, Spidey did, like, this whole other thing. Somehow him and Norman are, like, friends. Norman he's reformed himself. And Spider-Man actually goes to work with him. And he knows Pete and Spidey and helps him. Like he made this suit with a glider. Like Spidey is flying around like Spider Goblin.
It's Spider.
But that's Ben Reilly, right?
It's Pete. This is Pete. This is in Pete's series. So it is Pete, and he has Norman Osborn made him a suit that also has a glider, and he has Spider Bomb. It's one of those series that is amazing to read. Like
if done well, sure.
Spidey, I'd gotten I actually have a note in my phone when I was looking through Goodreads. Like, okay, Spider-Man Beyond. It starts from issue 79 to like 95 before it starts over again at 1 after certain. Do I really want to go back this far to read this, or do I just jump straight in? And I kind of just jumped straight in from issue 1 because I can read it for free on Comixology. But I think the Beyond series I can also read it, but because this was like kind of current, I'm gonna just jump here and start reading because it says it's a jumping off point. They tell you Spider-Man 1 is a jumping off point. Like you can just start here and like Joe, if you want to, you can like do the whole see the Beyond, like it says, see such and such of the Beyond Spider-Man Beyond series.
Yeah.
The Spider.
We might need to have like a separate offshoot occasionally. Art gets us up to speed on what the hell's going on in comics, like
Excelsior.
Yeah.
like a one-off.
It's a lot. Wait for it. It's a lot of sexiness going in the world right now. A lot of sexiness.
Is anyone surprised?
Yeah.
Well, I'm right at the part of Secret Wars when they pick up that suburb of Denver and fly it into space. Which those
all right, you got a little catching up to do from 1984.
Yeah, I got to get a ways to go. But you guys talked me into, I think, last episode or the one before, like checking with my local library to see what comics they have.
Yeah.
And I discovered Hoopla, a digital online thing where you can do audiobooks or comic books. And so I found everything I look for on there that I can't find sometimes. Comixology's got it for $19. It's free on Hoopla because I have a library card. So get a library card, everybody. But now I'm getting hooked into comics and I'm reading comics in my free time. So you've officially made me a nerd and I'm learning stuff and I want more nerd.
Good job.
Yeah. So that said,
that doesn't mean you graduated to full-fledged yet.
Oh, that just means you're actually doing your homework.
Right.
For the nerd school class.
And the more you're trying to get into
AP classes now.
Like Jones Forum, like you start talking about like Heroes Con made me want to just sit there and nerd out on comics. But I was watching people just sifting through comic books.
Yeah,
like
that gets to be daunting.
Yeah,
I was looking at
so many,
and I'm like,
I don't know how you.
I don't have a list of what I need to fill a run. Like I look through, like something looks good. This looks baseball cards, football back, same things. Like, well, I have this. I need the complete set. I need 1, 2, 3 issue such and such issue this and that. And
that's the collector disease right there. Is I need a complete set. Do you? You don't need
one
a complete
dude I
set.
saw. He was wheeling around a little a hand truck full of stuff. He just, can I get you to sign this? Like I'm like, man. But I guess and you know, as long as you're not getting it graded, like a lot of the artists, if they weren't busy doing commissions, were signing things. So you had people just wheeling around.
It's your opportunity to make that happen.
Yeah, I need to go get this issue and then take it to him so he can sign it.
We were right next to, was that Jack Davis?
Alan Davis.
Jim Davis. Alan Davis was right next to our table that we had, and he had a line the whole time.
Yeah.
Did you see Chris Claremont's line?
I don't know who that is.
His line at one point, I was watching I've been watching a lot of content creators who are either in the Carolinas who came to Carolina just to go to Heroes Con, and some of them, everyone kept showing his line, and I guess the CGC booth was like not too far from his. Like that line was really long, but it was a lot of people who literally had beach chairs sitting, waiting to get a signature.
He's an X-Men guy, huh?
Chris Claremont.
I saw that guy.
Yeah. He's one of the definitive writers in the history of X-Men. Like he's
72 years old and his wife's name is Beth Fleischer.
Good job. Where are we at? Spider-Man goes into space.
Spider-Man stays on the
they're up on the spaceship.
Told to go home.
Yeah, they're trying to rescue the wizard.
And Tony loses contact with Pepper and Friday. She says, "Are you on that ship?" Yes. Come down here now. He's like, "I'm sorry." Then Ma takes the ship with Spidey, Iron Man, and Strange out to space. And then we get to Wong opening a portal and telling Bruce that the time stone has been taken and the sanctum remains unguarded. And Bruce says he's going to make the call as he picks up Tony's flip phone. Which, Andy, I don't know if you know this, but our stepdad had that same model flip phone.
Really?
But before he died, somehow I ended up with it. Like that was the only thing on him, on his body when they brought him back and he passed away. He had his phone in his pocket. Somehow I had him. Mom didn't want to. She was like too emotional. Like, I don't want to. You take it. So I have his cell phone.
Okay.
That I plug in every once in a while to see if it'll call from heaven or wherever he is.
Oh, wow.
But he doesn't.
That just took a weird turn.
That was weird.
Yeah.
Right?
Very deep and somewhat dark, Joe.
I think dead people can contact us through cell phones.
Okay.
That's
right. All right, Bruce Willis.
We don't need to question the science on that at all.
I see that.
So this is where we cut to Vision and Scarlet Witch.
Well, in he looks through the contacts and we see that the call is to Steve Rogers.
Mm-hmm.
Then we cut to first we cut to space with Rubber Band Man by the Spinners playing. It's
Oh.
Guardians.
Okay.
And
The Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, we get some comedy relief here. They're responding to a distress signal. And then we
Rubber Band
realize
Man is a good song.
at this point everybody can understand Groot because he cusses and everybody's like, whoa, put away that video game. Rocket calls him a D-hole.
Ever since you got a little sap, you've been a real D-hole.
And like, why are we doing this? It's a distress signal. But why do we care? Because we're nice. And they arrive at the aftermath of Thanos whooping everybody's ass, and Thor hits the windshield, and we get the whole funny muscle bit about Quill being fat. You're one sandwich away from being fat, I think he said. And Mantis wakes Thor up. And Gamora gives a whole explanation of Thanos' background and this is Thanos' daughter, and they have the whole talk about, family can be tough. I was forced to, what do you say, kill my father. My father killed my brother.
Oh, he talks about her sister.
Yeah, my sister. Oh, yeah, my sister forced me. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, my father sent my sister to hell, and I was forced to kill her, and then Quill was like, "Hey, I killed my dad," and all this other, just like one-upping him. That whole thing is just Thor. That's adding Thor to this mix was just comedy gold. Like, it was all great.
Yeah, like that it works really well. Like, you see the Tony Stark, Doctor Strange, they're on the same level as far as barbs, but this is when one guy does not have the confidence to get into this battle of wits. Star-Lord does not quite have that. And so that's
now, what does he result dynamic. To though? He doesn't have it, so he results to them mocking him. Or sounding like him.
Which was funny. This is my voice. No, it isn't. What are you doing?
They always talk like this. What are you doing with your voice?
I love that Thor just calls Rocket a rabbit all the time.
Yeah, rabbit. Well, they decide to split up, and Rocket and Groot go with Thor to Nidavellir to get his hammer made by Eitri the dwarf. Only Eitri the dwarf can make
Tyrion Lannister.
Yeah, we can see later. And so now, Lannister obviously, Game of Thrones is now part of the MCU.
Yes, Tyrion Lannister got magic powers and went to space and became a giant dwarf.
That's exactly right. I drink and I know things. The rest will go to nowhere to stop Thanos from getting the reality stone. That's the whole plan. And so I had to listen to this a bunch to kind of like slow it down, my dumb brain. Even though I've watched all this, I just like all the stones, trying to keep them straight, remember what they all are. So he explains the reality stone is with the collector out of nowhere. That's where they have to go.
Yeah, and that's
Thanos.
We know that because at the end of Thor: The Dark World, Sif gave it to the collector.
Sif did. That's right. And then see a lot of this, I was like, I vaguely remember that. So he says Thanos has the Power Stone, which he stole from Xandar, and the Space Stone, which he stole from Thor and killed all his men.
Yeah, the Power Stone was at the end of the first Guardians movie that they took from Ronan the Accuser, and they locked it up in Xandar.
That's the dance-off thing. Yeah, right.
And apparently there was a whole sequence that showed Thanos destroying Xandar to get that stone, but they cut that out because this movie was long already.
Oh, they cut it.
Yeah, it is long.
So that's the Power Stone.
That's where they say that. And
then the Space Stone is from the Tesseract that he gets from Loki.
That they just stole from Loki at the beginning of this movie. Okay.
Right.
It says the Time and the Mind Stones are on Earth. So Time is the one with Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Mind Stone is the one in Vision's head.
Vision.
Yeah. And then there's the Soul Stone is the mystery. No one knows where it is.
So they are on Earth safely, possibly with Kevin Bacon, who might be an Avenger. He doesn't know. He's not sure.
6 degrees of Kevin Bacon.
Yeah.
Kevin Bacon is a Ravager.
That's good. Yeah.
He's a guardian of the galaxy.
And then the Soul Stone, he says, nobody's ever seen it or knows where it is. But I noticed this time that Gamora makes a face when he says that. So she has some connection to the Soul Stone, I'm to assume.
You don't have to assume too long. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you watch the rest of the movie?
I did, but I've forgotten.
It's like
she knows the secret to how to get the Soul Stone.
Yeah, well, that's what she says to Quill. She's like, I know something, and Thanos doesn't. And if he finds out, the world will die. So you have to kill him.
So you have to kill him, yeah.
So we're assuming that's a Soul Stone based on her face.
Yes.
Wanda, now it's Wanda and Vision.
Wait, you skipped my favorite part of that scene. They kiss, and then suddenly you hear snacking in the background.
No, that part
how long have you been there?
That doesn't happen yet. That's a little later.
No, it's this scene.
No, it's not yet.
It is because she just said, "Kill me." If this happens.
She didn't say "kill me" yet. She just said,
"Yeah." This is a bit
she
later.
Makes the face. She just
you mentioned that. I thought we were.
I mentioned it, but we're not there yet. That didn't happen yet.
Keep going.
She just says, they said nobody's ever seen it. And Gamora makes
Yeah,
a face.
yeah.
Uh-oh. And then it cuts to Wanda and Vision on Coburn Street in Edinburgh, Scotland. And I know they're on Coburn Street because that's where I stayed when I went to Edinburgh, and they filmed it on my street. Right
I
next
love
to it.
Edinburgh. Can I
It's
just tell you?
beautiful.
I
Yeah,
would
you went
love to
there.
live
Didn't you
there.
just go there?
Yep, I went there last summer,
Did
and
you love
I
it?
felt legit in love. Started looking at the cost to own a flat in Edinburgh. I was so in love.
What is the cost? Is it super?
It's
pricey?
not unreasonable, honestly.
Okay.
It's not
It's
unreasonable.
Yeah,
at
I just
measured
all.
in
want. I want to
pounds.
move there. I would love to just live.
Kind
there.
of. I went to Scott. I didn't go to Edinburgh. I went to Inverness, which is a lot north and like the route
Yeah, yeah.
where Loch Ness is supposed to be.
The Loch Ness.
Well, we have a current intern that worked our
I
table.
went to Ellis Island.
What? You went where?
I went to Ellis Island.
That's
Not
exactly
quite
what-
in Scotland.
Not
but
exactly the
cool.
same place, but anyway, we'll forget. Wanda and Vision, they're on Coburn Street, and there's a badass battle, and then Cap, Falcon, and Black Widow show up to help. But
Yeah, this is,
Thanos' minions come into this battle. They show up trying to get that Mind Stone.
Yeah, that's
Awesome.
Corvus Glaive and Proxima Midnight of the Black Order,
Yeah,
and but they never give them their names, and that's fine.
but right before they show up, Vision and Wanda are talking about maybe we just quit and be together and never have to do any of this battle again, and we're in love and it works and blah blah blah. And then of course the battle comes. Oh, I gotta go.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, he sees on the TV Tony Stark is missing, and so he realizes.
And they do a
Kind of.
thing right off the bat to mitigate any nerds nitpicking about how powerful Vision is supposed to be by sneaking up on him and stabbing him in the back with a magic
Yeah.
glaive,
Yeah, that
and
was
just like
brutal.
cut him up a
You
bit.
call it
So
a
that
knife,
really,
call it a knife spear thing again.
the knife stick.
it's a knife stick. Yeah, it's a
That's
knife
a
and a
knife
stick.
stick,
That's a glaive.
Yeah.
But so yeah, he gets damaged right away. So we can say, all right, he's not at full power, because if he was, he could
There
phase
you
through
go.
shit. And
How
do
hard
all this
was
stuff.
that? How hard was that to do? Make him not at full power.
We've
and
watched
have
several movies of Loki's moral compass changing.
Yes,
So
Joe, everything can't be spelled out for you. Okay,
Yeah, but
I know you're
just
used
because
to it.
just
as
because he
a-
continues to fight doesn't mean he can still be a good guy and keep fighting and using his teleportation powers.
Yeah,
Mhm.
they still can't spell out everything for you. So
Joe, you do know that in certain videos and movies that you watch,
Yeah.
in the closed caption, you
Yeah.
can set it up so it actually says like Vision puts the cup down on the table. So it'll tell you step by step.
I always have that on. I never
Well,
turn it
this-
off.
This is just this is just the closed caption. It'll actually speak it to you. Like you'll be watching it,
Oh.
you'll see the closed caption, but then you have a lady's voice also speaking it to
So
you.
the lady will say, he has previously been weakened and can't use his telekinetic.
an audio
powers."
descriptor.
Yeah, that's what it is.
yeah,
Yeah,
could
yeah.
be.
Anyway, Cap, Falcon, and Black Widow show up to help, but Thanos' minions get away. Even after Black Widow says, we could kill you, but we don't really want to. What? Too late. You'll never get the chance. Bye. And then Cap says, we're going home. And then we get the Gamora flashback scene where it's very sad. We see little baby Gamora, and it's like heartbreaking. And then Thanos gives her the whole balance talk while he's killing all of her people.
Mhm.
And
Half of her people.
but it kind of is a foreshadowing. Yeah, half of her people, the good, the bad. He's trying to bring balance.
The balance.
It's
He's
like-
seeking balance.
But he like turns her head right while they're killing everybody.
Yeah, he stops her from seeing it.
Yeah, which I guess is nice.
He's got a twisted form of compassion.
But that's a great
Yeah.
scene that you really see how she's got to her, why she's kind of conflicted, why she like, yes, she hates him, but she kind of loves him. Like there's that Stockholm syndrome or whatever it is she's got. But it kind of explains Gamora a lot and really puts your heart with her a lot later,
Mhm.
through the whole thing. And
Yeah.
so that's a cool scene.
Yeah, it's her father figure.
Yeah. And it
Even if
jump-
he sucks.
even if he's a bad guy, yeah. And that jumps to present day. Star-Lord asking about the blow off your junk grenades or the smoke
Yeah.
grenades.
Yes,
Uh,
there we are.
At this point, I realize, because I've been thinking throughout this whole Comic-Con and everything, I've been like looking for my character. Like what character? There's no, I don't have like a favorite character. There's no me character. There's nothing that sums up me. And when he says to
Double
blow
the
off your
Thanos.
junk grenades, I realize that's Star-Lord's my guy, probably. He should be my guy.
That's not surprising.
Yeah.
You know, the nutsack on your chin. Hey, Grimace. Like that's my
Yeah.
guy, I guess. So I should just start
referencing 80s stuff all the time.
Yeah, I should just stick with Star-Lord. Anyway, but Chris Pratt, I don't know, TBJ told me he did some bad things, so that's hard.
Listen, you can have your own opinions on Chris Pratt. I don't have that many high opinions of men in general, so he's just one of the ones.
Except Art Star.
The thing with Chris Pratt was that, like, supposedly he's part of a church that is really homophobic.
Yeah, I don't like.
But
he's not supposedly. He is a part of it. It's not even that. Some of the drama came. So there's a lot that came from his divorce from Anna Faris and some conversation she's had on how he was in that marriage.
Oh, okay. I didn't know any of that.
Especially at the end. And she worked really hard to like kind of protect him, but yeah, he was a Pratt. And then there is
well, now he's married to Arnold Schwarzenegger, right?
Yes, they're
he's
married.
Related to, he married into that family. So he also, when the Orange Man was happening and everybody was voting and people tried to just kind of figure out where he leaned, as most actors don't shy away from telling you. Ask Kid Rock, he'll tell you the truth.
Yeah, I guess.
That's a joke. Chris Rock is dumb.
Yes.
Not Chris Rock.
Not Chris. Well,
Kid
I think
Rock.
Chris Rock is also dumb, but Kid Rock is dumb. They're both dumb to me in different ways.
Okay.
Yeah,
Chris Rock did a lot of cheating.
Different ways.
A lot of cheating on it.
But Kid Rock was very vocal. Most people are vocal or don't hide it. Chris did a really weird campaign to like distance himself from all politics, which was hard to do at the time because the whole world was on fire.
Yeah.
So that left a bad taste in some people's mouths. And just some random things that I don't think he does intentionally, but basically he's just a basic misogyny kind of leaning white dude. Yeah. To a large population of people, that's a-okay with them, but to a large population of people, mainly women and people of color, it's not okay with them. So he's not evil. He's not out there on freaking island, but he is.
What's that guy's name?
Not necessarily. I'm not giving his name airtime. Just like the Orange Man. I shall not say that name.
The Orange Man.
But yeah, he's not bad to that degree. Like there's no secrets that we know of, but he's probably not the dude you want to hang out with unless you're like, some of you might want to hang out with him. I don't know what you're doing in your free time, Andy and Joe.
But now we're at the moment where Gamora explains to him something Thanos doesn't and wants him to promise to kill her, and Drax is crunching a Zarg nut.
It's just such a sweet moment, and it's just like emotional moment, kiss.
Yeah.
Crunch, crunch, crunch. Yeah. How long have you been standing there? An hour.
I'm invisible.
I move so slowly.
I've perfected the art of being very still.
No one.
Whoever writes these funny little things, it's so great. I wish you could find out who wrote each scene.
If you can read enough James Gunn interviews, they'll probably tell you.
To tell you,
I think he consulted a lot on Infinity War, like especially for the Guardians characters. The Russos did I think they did.
The Russos are funny, right? They're funny guys that direct.
Yeah, they did an episode. They cut their teeth on episodes of Community.
Yeah, so they're funny.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're crunching a Zarg nut.
No one can see me. Hi, Drax. Damn it.
Yeah, that was fun. Then he walks away.
Yeah.
And now we get to Nowhere.
Can we pause here? I'm gonna ask.
This is probably a good place to stop for now. Yeah.
Yes, please.
Right after the Zarg nut, and then we'll pick up at Nowhere with the Collector and Thanos when we start next time.
That sounds good to me. Thanks, friends.
Yeah. Let's see if I can.
A little late on a school night.
Yeah, it is.
It is a little late on a school night. Tiffany's been running camps. This is her final week of camp till July.
All right. So if TBJ needs to bow out, then Art Star can tell us for another hour about what's going on in Spider-Man comics.
Do not do that to our listeners.
Art can reveal all of the sexual relationships he's had.
If you guys record that and post that, I will murder you. I will murder you.
No, we wouldn't do that. Art
would.
He's a gentleman. He doesn't kiss and tell.
Yes, I am. I am a gentleman.
He don't F and tell.
He says,
no tell-alls here. Ain't no tell all.
But we'll pick up next episode at nowhere. And thank you, nerds, for listening and rating and reviewing. We haven't had any reviews in a while. So
rate, subscribe, and review.
Yeah, if you were at our panels, please give us a review so we know it was you. And we love all of you.
Yeah.
Hey, look again. And I think we helped some people come out of their shells. There were some people who don't speak a lot.
We had some great feedback from that.
Yeah, it was cool. It was great. We had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So hooray for nerds.
And I hope to see you next year.
Yeah, we will be there.
See you next year.
Maybe we'll get to the Asheville Comic Con. Also, somebody gave me a flyer for the Matthews Comic Con. It's coming up in early part of 24. I think they're interested in us doing something there too. So,
wow.
We can do it.
We got to branch out, nerds. We got to branch out.
We'll be in these streets.
All right.
With that, Art, you want to fart us out?
I'll just do.
Andy, you want to fart us out?
SBD.
Uh-oh. TVJ?
How
say
silent
Excelsior?
I'm not saying Excelsior. I'll say what I said.
You just did.
Later,
Oh,
nerd.
snap.
He said it again. He
Oh,
said it
snap.
again. Again and again.
It's almost like we have to end the podcast forever now.
Thank you for listening to the Nerd School podcast.
They say I can't rap about the president no more, but evidently they don't see we in the streets still poor. Still more incarceration of my kids by the prisons, and people thinking this election to end in racism. Proud of a pessimism, glad to see Obama, but don't expect me not to speak out when I still see problems, Mr. Officer. Now they POTUS look like me, you gon' think again when seeing brothers rolling down the street. Every Martin Luther King on his American dream. Still a Rodney being beaten, screaming fuck the police. Me, I'm running through the pasture, trying to get away from master, but the dogs is on my ass, I gotta move a little faster. Can't pass for Caucasian, but I got a couple papers from the plantation saying I graduated. Congratulations, cool beans, but to most school me, trying to dodge STDs, living off government cheese, trust the government please. Not even if it was me, sitting in the Oval Office as commander-in-chief, trying to give us free, but there's a nigga in my ear saying, you got it Superman, you ought to keep it here. Get this distinctly clear, I'm all about jetting. Raps Kunta Kinte without the half-stepping. A new chapter, back with new lessons. After that, the final exam. Any questions?
QueenCityPodcastNetwork.com.